Welcome to the Honesty Club podcast.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Sarah Joy.
We've been friends for over a decade, and at this point, we've talked about everything.
Each week, we'll take a hot topic and give our honest takes. And even better, we're inviting you to be a part of the conversation by submitting your stories and thoughts.
Laugh a little, learn a little, and even feel free to disagree.
You're invited to join the Honesty Club. What's up, everyone?
Happy Saturday? Friday.
No idea. Actually, I think it's a Friday.
Okay. Well,
Could be
whatever
wrong.
day you're listening to this.
Happy September.
That day.
That's insane.
Holy moly.
I don't know where August went.
August?
Where'd all the time go?
August came and went.
Yeah.
I thought
It always does.
I was at the beginning of August, and then suddenly I was in the end of August.
You took a trip.
That really also did it, too.
You're fresh in from the trip.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that right away?
Okay. Went to Utah, went to Zion, tried to go to Bryce, got rained out, but it's okay.
Sounds amazing.
We went to the Salt Flats, we went to Salt Lake City, and it was beautiful. The weather was actually incredible because of all the rain. That we would kind of get rain sometimes in the morning or in the afternoon, whatever, and it just made this cool, crisp breeze, and I felt like I was in fall. Like,
right.
It felt like our fall,
Yeah.
which is sad. But I was just pretending it was fall.
Sounds incredible.
And I was like, I can't wait to go watch Gilmore Girls. It's time.
Yeah.
Although I kind of kept forgetting that I was going to come home to like major heat.
Right.
But
Major
heat.
Yeah, it's like depressing when you get off the plane and it's even like nighttime and you're
My
like,
gosh.
why is it this hot?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
It was nighttime. And it was so hot.
It was incredibly nighttime.
It was crazy.
You guys landed at like midnight?
Yeah.
That's
pretty
wild.
much exactly midnight.
Have you ever done that before? Got in like so late?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I have.
I feel like I've done it once.
Yeah.
We got super delayed and
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have, but I can't recall the trip or anything like that. But anyway, it was beautiful. Loved it. Got a lot of hiking in. Then we also had some like chill days and
yeah.
very beautiful place.
Yeah.
Go if you can.
Oh man, it's been on my list.
Yeah.
You guys were doing stuff that I've been looking at for a while, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'll
you should do it.
I'll be able to get your pro tips before I go.
Absolutely.
That sounds amazing. My life tip, please, life update is I listened to this podcast. I told you about it. So you've heard a little bit about this. It came to me. Like, I didn't search this out. It just came to me, but
I was hoping you would talk about this.
I could go on and on. It is called Scamanda.
Yeah.
And it is about this girl named Amanda who was like this Christian blogger mom who blogged about having terminal cancer for years and years and years. And it turns out she faked it the whole time.
So crazy.
So that she could get a ton of donations. And she, finally get caught up with her.
We've said this before, but how does a person get to the place to become that crazy off the charts?
It is wild.
Like, how do you convince yourself, this is a good idea, to lie to so many people?
And to like believe it so much. Anyway, she's like speaking at her church, like giving her testimony about how sick she is and how she's dying. She's believing for a miracle, having everybody pray for her every week. It's like,
and then she's having miracle babies and
right. Oh, she gets healed from cancer like 4 times.
So many times. I'm
it's
only
exhausting.
at the beginning, and she's already been healed a couple of times.
I know. I don't want to laugh, but it's like, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy
because it's like she would be good for a while, and then like as soon as she'd be like, I need another cash infusion, she'd be like, it's back and worse than ever. I have 4 months to live, and then everybody would be like, giving her all her dying wishes, and then she'd be like, guess what? The cancer went away.
Yeah.
My new miracle drug worked. It's like, oh my gosh.
That you just hear more and more stories like that of people just being out of their mind crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, how did you get to that place? Because when at the beginning of the story, she seemed like a normal young girl.
Right.
It starts out like when she's young.
She's like 19 in the beginning. Yeah.
And you're thinking, how did she I don't know. Did she get addicted to attention?
Right.
were you in such a desperate spot that you were like, I have to fake this so I can make some money? Like, I just don't know how you get to that place.
I don't know.
We need
But I love a good... First of all, I love a good heist movie.
Yeah.
And I love a good scam podcast. I'm not into, like, true crime, like, you know, killing
Murder
stuff. No. But, like, a good scam.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
No, this was a good one.
I was listening I was listening to another one. It's not... This one is riveting. Okay. Yeah. But there's another one that's kind of just quirky and fun. It's called Ridiculous Crime.
Okay.
And that one's about, like, just wild stories.
Wild crimes.
Like, yeah. Sometimes it's, like, they kidnap somebody, or, like, another time, like, this guy in the 1800s, like, bought land in, like, Kansas or something, and then went and salted it with, like, uncut gems and told people that he found just fields of diamonds.
Oh, my gosh.
And had people pay him millions of dollars for their share, and then he jetted, and they were just loosely covered. Like, it was so obvious looking back that he was just, like, salting the ground with gems.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't get scammed.
Yeah. There's another one who this guy just, like, I mean, it's just bizarre. Some of it's not even, like, crime, but, like, this guy, like, ghosted his family. He, like, left, and they were, like, concerned for him. Like, did he die? Did he get kidnapped? Whatever. They find him years later. Like, years later, married to somebody else, living with another family with a different name. And they confront him about it. They're like, where'd you go? And he's like, I don't know who you are. I was abducted, and they brainwashed me. So, like, just totally played, like, dumb.
Oh, my
and I
gosh.
think he did it a third time and went and became some kind of, like, minister under a different name. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was brainwashed. Like,
are you
he
kidding
does this
me?
multiple times. Just new identity, new family.
What's wrong with your brain?
Craziness.
What is going on? Someone please tell me, because that is insane to me.
Yeah.
You had
it's a good podcast, though.
One family, not two, but 3 lives.
Yeah. It's
different lives. That's
wild.
crazy.
Anyway.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That does make me want to listen to that one, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other crazy ones.
It's a good time.
But I haven't finished Scamanda, so
Scamanda is good.
I'm gonna be doing that. How many episodes?
There's like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And they're easy to get through, because I started it 2 days ago. So I listened to it one day, and then I finished up like 2 episodes the next day.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I blew through it real fast.
Yeah. No, it seems like an easy one.
Yeah. It's all out at this point.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait for episodes to drop. You can get through the whole story.
Holy moly. Yeah, you should check it out. It's really crazy. And it's good.
I also found, like, I just Googled it because I was like, I need to know what she looks like, or like
I was very
maybe
curious.
what her blog is. And there's one like Reddit thread that I found where you can, here I am on Reddit.
Reddit girl.
No, there's one Reddit thread where people are posting like links to some of her blog posts. And so you can go back and like read. She blogged so much, like such detail. The blogs were like pages long. Picture of her in the hospital, picture of her with chemo, picture of like stuff that it's like,
blows your
how
mind.
do you make this up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Blows your mind that it's not real.
Yes.
Golly.
So like you get it why people fell for it.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
Oh, 100%. Because yeah, a normal person thinks like a normal person. They don't think, oh, that
Right.
person's scamming me and they're lying.
No.
Of course they're lying.
No, because you believe the best in
hospital.
people
Exactly.
and like take people at their word.
Exactly.
It's wild.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Whack-a-doodle.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Well, we shouldn't waste too much time because we have
not.
a lot to get into. Today's episode is all about in-laws. This is a fun one.
Yeah.
I've been
We
excited
got a lot
about
of stories in.
Yeah.
And it's intriguing.
It's not all like bad in-law stories.
No.
We're not just going like horror
There's
stories
both.
because there are some where I'm like genuinely touched. Like, oh my gosh, this is a great story.
Exactly.
But it's just fun. Everybody has a different in-law experience. Also, I feel like you never quite know what you're getting into with in-laws because
that's true. You
sometimes
don't see the full picture. Really.
Sometimes they can even like, I feel like you kind of have some different expectations, and then when you're married, like as soon as you get married, like there could be a little switch that happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, It's pretty interesting.
Right.
Like,
one thing I think that is a consistent statement throughout is people say to make sure you know what your boundaries need to be with in-laws up front. Yeah. Because it is true, you can get into the marriage and you had not talked about it, or you didn't really think you're going
with the flow.
Yeah.
And so then you realize, I'm just doing this for a little bit, and then you're like, they expect me to do this forever, so I need to
and you haven't talked about it, and then you have to put a hold on it. Yeah. And you're like, and they don't like that, or whatever may happen. And so I think as you hear these stories, think about that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start off with a great one. This person says, I have amazing in-laws. What makes them great is they always made me feel fully loved as a daughter in their family instantly. They have never put a boundary for their love and their extension to include me, but have been generous to allow me to set any boundary that I felt I needed to keep, like always giving preference to my parents or my family, never requesting or telling them to call me mom or dad, etc. They are the best. I hope to be a mother-in-law like mine one day.
Oh,
that warms my heart. That is
super sweet. I love that. You love to hear that, Yeah.
Because again, starting off on a good note.
It's not always like that. And again, you don't always know what you're going to get.
Totally.
And so to hear that they, have not put any requirements or restrictions on their love for this person. Yeah. Because, again, not to put it all on the in-laws. Like, you're coming in as a whole new person that they, you both have different ideas of what family looks like. Yeah. And so you're trying to merge these ideas, essentially. Yeah. And it's difficult sometimes. Yeah. So I just hit you on the knee and I almost lost my iPad. So
all in one blow. It was a wild time.
Try to keep it together here.
Yeah. We got a tiny table. We're working on it.
Working with what we got.
We're being thrifty. No, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to read the next one?
Is it the little tiny one?
Yeah.
Okay. I have great in-laws. Very different approach than what I grew up with, but it really gave me a lot of missing ingredients that I could add to my marriage family recipe. Wow. That's cute. Yeah, I like that. That's cute. A good idea too, because you can, me and Matthew talk about this too, like you can take certain things from each family that you like and then certain things that you don't, and so it's good to see another perspective of how people do things.
Yeah. It's also kind of like I don't know, like once you spend too much time, even with anybody, you could be spending too much time with friends and you're like, they're starting to really get on my nerves. Yeah. But like if you have somebody who's completely different, I'm going to go spend time with them for a while. Oh, wow, this is so different. And then when they start being like a little much to you, you're like, okay, let's go back to the other ones.
Exactly.
Okay, this is refreshing. This is different, Yeah. And you kind of get like a good balance of kind of, the best of both. And you kind of say like, oh, okay, this is how I need to be in the future too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay. This person says, oh, do I have some stories.
Ooh, already.
My mother-in-law showed up to my wedding with a full sheet cake that was hideous, only because she didn't want us running out of cake when we told her we had a 3-tiered cake. Okay, that's the first question. First of all, bringing a cake to a wedding, that's big.
First of all, who thinks, what they're going to need?
More cake. Okay. My mother-in-law has shown up to my house before with cleaning supplies.
No.
Because she was worried that my husband wasn't cleaning the house properly.
Her husband? The fact that she thought, at least she thought
he was responsible to clean.
Like, you're not cleaning well.
You're not cleaning well enough for my husband. I have heard that from somebody else before.
Ugh, that would bring me to my knees.
My mother-in-law has also told me that I should get another career because she doesn't like the fact that I work at a place that her husband, my father-in-law, is a customer at.
What place is this?
Like, what could that possibly be?
First of all,
where does he need that much privacy? Is this his golf club or like his barber shop? Like, what?
A coffee shop? Like, why would you not be okay with him being at a place like that? Like, obviously it's public, right? Like, there's more than one person working there.
What could it possibly be?
Is it a bar? Like, I'm confused.
Is it like a physician's office?
Is it a gym? Like, I don't get it.
Should I want him to have his medical record? I can't imagine what.
There's more than one person working there. It's not just her. Mm-hmm. That is really bizarre to me. We need more details on that one.
full disclaimer, my husband and I are working on boundaries and respect. It's not going to be the best, but we're getting there one day at a time. Yeah. We remind ourselves that ultimately our peace and our marriage is the most important thing in this situation. I say all of this to say my advice for the singles or dating or engaged people is start boundaries before you get married. Yep. Start them the moment that you settle down and get ready for marriage if you can.
Repeating what I said earlier, but yeah, no, exactly. Because
sometimes you just feel like, though, you're like, it's fine. They're quirky. I'll go with it.
Yeah.
And then you realize later, this needs to be a boundary.
Right. Yeah.
You just don't really, you think like, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize there's no end to
it.
Yeah. So now you gotta.
Well, like for her, I wonder, how much did she know going in about these quirks? Like, was the wedding?
The wedding can really bring it out of some people. Sometimes that can bring out their craziness. They're
Sometimes
like,
it's the first
I'm gonna come boss it around, bring a sheet cake.
Some people,
go crazy.
You're like, well, that's weird. Why would you bring a sheet cake to the wedding that I have a whole cake to?
Yeah.
Like, why would we need that? Most times people have cake left over.
Yeah.
I've never really heard of a shortage of cake at a wedding.
No.
Not too much.
No.
I mean, maybe food, but like...
Not cake.
Not cake.
No.
Because not everybody wants cake, not everybody eats cake, whatever. It's usually pretty large. You have multiple cakes.
Yeah.
You usually have a groom's cake and a bride's cake.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody ever goes, we need more cake.
Right.
So that's just like a strange thought pattern to go with. But she did. And so that could have been the first thing she saw of this family.
It's kind of interesting because these stories aren't necessarily like the same trait over and over.
Mm-mm.
It's like very bizarre.
Actually not.
She's like, one, she probably has like more of a generous kind of gifts thing because she's like, I'll go clean their house.
Yeah.
Because my son's probably not up to their standards. I don't know. She's like, I'll bring the cake.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's true. She could be very high maintenance kind of.
Sounds like she's got some good intentions, but she's just like
too much
overstepping.
Yes. And now that's the thing. You don't know how they'll react when you tell them you're overstepping, but that could be what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Which clearly they're going to work on it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Another one says, I have many stories I could share, but the biggest thing is parents in general need to learn to let their children grow up and allow them and their spouses to flourish rather than try to be involved when not invited to do that. First of all, let me stop right there. Mm-hmm. That is the truth. Mm-hmm. That parents need to let their children grow up.
Yeah.
Like, even if they fail, even if they're terrible at what they're doing, you gotta let them. They're adults,
Yeah.
Okay. I've had my father-in-law talk poorly about me to my husband more than once, but it is because I'm not easily controlled by him and challenge him. That's what having a narcissistic father-in-law is like. I'll keep my stories to a minimum, but also my mother-in-law has to learn to not overstep when I parent my kids. It's been a lot, and I've had to navigate how to approach talking with her, and as a couple, we've had to set boundaries that I would encourage every couple to do.
Boundaries.
Again, we talk about boundaries. First of all, I don't know how you handle this part, but like the father-in-law talking to the husband about your wife.
I think that it's the husband's job to shut it down.
Happen.
Like if he has something to say, be like, yeah, sorry, we're not critiquing my wife today.
No, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
If he's like, I'll hear you out, it's like, no, don't hear him out.
There's nothing to hear. If you have a problem with it,
at least he's not going directly to her and like,
true, yeah. But like,
still,
I don't know. But I guess where my point is like, what if there really is a problem with the daughter-in-law or son-in-law?
Yeah.
Then how do you navigate that? You know, because again, you don't want to go to the husband or the wife and be like, well, your husband or your wife is blah 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 blah. Right. But what if they really are genuinely being a horrible person? Then what do you do?
I feel like sometimes you have to wait for them to bring it up to you.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey, I've noticed that your wife is terrible.
Yeah.
You have to be like, the son has to be like, I'm really going through a lot. And like, I hate to say it, but like, it's like, I don't know what to do when she does blah, blah, blah. Which I'm not saying that this is the case for this person at all. But like, you know, sometimes there are things that go on. Other people do see the flags. But it's like, you can't just bring it up. Because if that person is still in their bubble, they will only take offense to it and will not receive anything that you have to say. Right. So they have to bring it up for you to be able to be like, you know, I thought maybe I just caught it on a bad day, but maybe I have noticed some of those things and can say that you're not crazy. Right.
Well, even with that, though, I'm kind of like, maybe they need to go figure it out with a
counselor.
Yeah, like someone else who is not a part of the family that doesn't know the situation. Yeah. Because a lot of times, I mean, you just get your emotions involved, you get your own opinions involved. Yeah. And you don't always know the full picture. And so, I don't know, I think it's probably better if the couple can deal with that on their own. Now, sometimes maybe you should have said something in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But like, now it is what it is. Yeah. But again, I just don't like when, you know, family members go and talk to the husband about whatever they think the wife is doing. It's like, that's none of your business. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask you. Yeah, and of course, I'm good. Even if I agree, you know who I'm going to back up? My husband or my wife, not you coming at me with all your opinions about my wife. Right. You know? So, you gotta be careful. Again, boundaries. Like, we don't talk about this. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and then giving parenting advice. That's hard for them to tough. Not do it.
It really
like
is.
When your husband was little, here's how I would do this. And I see that your child doing the same thing. It's like,
I didn't ask for that. You know?
Be like, you know, I live with your husband. I got some news for you.
Exactly.
I don't think you fully fixed it.
Exactly. No, that's again, let me ask for the advice. Yeah. And then we'll talk about it. Yeah. But if I'm not asking, it's probably for a reason. It's probably because I don't want it. So let's go with that.
Oh boy. Okay. My husband is half Chinese, so his mom is tiny. His dad, though, is a 6'4" white man that is not tiny. 3 days after I had my son, his mom said, "If you weren't so big, your husband could have laid in the hospital bed with you." My husband said, "Excuse me? I'm not going to make my wife that just had a baby move over so that I can be more comfortable."
No.
Or when his dad compared me to his overweight aunt, saying that I probably had to have several nurses help me out of the hospital bed when I had my daughter because I am so heavy.
No. No. Are you kidding me?
This is not okay. Especially for the dad. Well, either one.
First of all, the husband, I've never heard of a husband sleeping in a hospital bed with his wife who just had a baby.
Get out of here.
Who barely can move. Yeah. I mean, I'm so sorry, but did you just birth a child? You can sleep on the floor and you'll be just fine.
Absolutely.
I just birthed a human out of my body. Like, yeah. What? And then on top of that, you're going to continue to talk about how big I am? I am so sorry to whoever wrote that in. Yeah. That is a big no-no.
Oh my gosh.
I have chills.
I get like other cultures sometimes, and I don't know about like Chinese specifically, but I know some cultures are like, oh, like, yeah, I'll call Peter out. There were people at our church who would tell Peter, "Ooh, you're gaining weight. Like, that's amazing," you know, because you're supposed to like fatten up after you get married. But he was kind of like, "Well, you're commenting on my body, so I'm not really sure." Which Peter is like 0% fat. He's just like filling out, you know? In all places. But like, so I get how some cultures could be like,
honest,
oh, you're like fat, you know? They kind of mean it as a good thing. This doesn't sound like that, though.
That sounds like they are hardcore judging you.
Yeah. If you weren't so big, if you didn't need a crane to get you out of the bed.
Exactly. Like, all these nurses had to help you up. Like,
just
what?
Just get a crane and peel you out of the bed because you're so large.
I am still shook at the fact that they thought the husband should be in that bed. The hospital bed with her. That hospital bed is like a twin size.
Right?
You've seen one?
Yes.
Like, it's small.
With like the things on the side.
Yes. Like, you're gated in. Barely, the baby can barely fit. You could be super tiny and still that guy can't fit.
I'm glad the husband stood up for him.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Because if the husband does it,
we're going to have to talk.
Fighting words.
Fighting words. I'm going to need a minute to recover from that one. That was wild. Okay. This one's okay. We got another culture. Mexican.
The culture shocks.
It really does.
Yeah, it does do something to you. Yeah, you got a culture shock, kind of. You got sort of, Cajun and Brazilian. I mean, that's different.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't know how different it is, but you know, people do.
Been in America so long. It's not that but yeah. There's excitement. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's different when it's like you got two people to get used to versus if they have like monster family and you got to get used to like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, that would be wild.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Mexican married to a white guy. Christmas dinner. Why is it the same as Thanksgiving?
Wait. She's Mexican.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's married to a white guy.
Okay.
Christmas dinner. Why is it the same as Thanksgiving?
Okay.
My in-laws cooked the same beautiful dinner twice. It was then that I realized not everyone ate tamales and enchiladas for Christmas. Hold up. I want to eat enchiladas and tamales for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Especially enchiladas.
Sign me up.
That sounds amazing. But
at first I thought,
not wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Christmas, okay, not in my family technically, but Christmas and Thanksgiving are pretty much the same meal.
See,
most times.
Yeah,
in most families.
I guess I didn't realize that people did the Thanksgiving dinner again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've ever had, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we've ever had like a Christmas meal, like a set meal that we do for Christmas. Like obviously Thanksgiving is like a lot of the same things that we bring out once a year.
Yeah.
But like Christmas, we have done tamales and I'm really into it. But like, nothing really stands out in my mind that we did as like a Christmas meal.
Yeah.
You said you always had lasagna.
Yeah. Which I loved.
Sign me up.
But then it did start to change as I got a little bit older just because family was growing and my grandma was getting older and all that stuff. But
sounds great.
That was great because, and then on Christmas.
I would do lasagna. I would do tamales. I would do steak.
Yeah.
Any chance for steak?
No, so it was actually Thanksgiving that we would do lasagna.
Oh, okay.
And then Christmas Eve, we would do with my dad's side of the family. That's the one we would do lasagna with. So with my dad's side of the family on Christmas Eve, we would usually do gumbo, which was nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then on Christmas Day,
so good.
We typically were with my mom's family, and that's when we did more of a Christmas traditional meal, you know? So I didn't really ever do Thanksgiving. I would usually go to my friend's house after Thanksgiving and like eat her leftovers. Yeah. But I never, and I think that's why to this day I'm not a huge fan of Thanksgiving food.
I don't love it.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, it's good, but I feel so sick afterwards, and like I've been trying to like pace myself. So
some years it hits better than others. Yeah. But for the most part I'm like, no.
I will say this about Matthew's family. They do try to mix it up with what they make on Thanksgiving and then Christmas.
Well, they're so kind of like, they got some gourmet cooks in there.
They really do, yeah. So they're like chefs.
Yeah.
So they like to experiment and try new things. Yeah. So it does make it nice if you get a little something different.
Absolutely. My parents are pretty experimentative.
Yeah.
Experimentative? I don't know. My dad loves to experiment. Let me just say that. Yeah. He's always like, ooh, I tried this new recipe. And so he's,
that does make it fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not a picky eater, so.
I love that I have like a baking dad.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's cute. I like
very wholesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you get sent home with some of your dad's pastries. It's just not usually something you experience in life, but I love it. Yeah.
That's really adorable.
And he always makes me sausage, and because
you're a sausage girl.
I'm a sausage girl.
She loves sausage
so much. Oh man. Yeah. Andouille sausage is like oh my gosh.
It hits. It is so salty. It's so good.
Like, and like the ones with like a little bit of jalapeno. I like it when like you cook it in the oven to where it gets like crispy on the outside.
Ooh. I love sausage with cheese in it.
Oh. Yeah.
That.
I know.
Always get it at barbecue places.
You're making me want sausage.
I'm getting hungry. Okay.
I tried to be vegan for like 2 or 3 months. And afterward, I was like, I can't do it. I gotta have sausage.
Knowing how much you love sausage now,
it didn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Didn't make sense. No, didn't make sense.
Doesn't line up with your values.
It does not. Sausage is who I truly am.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Unfortunately, the saying, don't mix business with family, bodes well with our family. My in-laws forced us to move into their rental house.
Oh.
A hurricane took out our apartment, but we were house hunting. They wanted income, so they asked us to move in. I say forced because they contractually told us that as long as we paid rent, which was a lot, by the way, that they would have a percentage of the rent taken out to use as a down payment to a house that we were helping remodel. We made it our dream home, literally paid extra for furnitures and paint to make it look like something out of a catalog.
Wow.
When push came to shove, they didn't want to go through a bank, basically keeping equity, whereas we needed to start building some, obviously just to have my home in my name. We didn't want to do that. So they kept all the money and sold our house for triple what they were going to ask for. The buyers told them that the stuff that we did to it is what really sold it. Their realtor was my realtor, so that's why I know.
Oh
Woo.
my gosh.
After the transaction was dissolved, the relationship went sour. They upped our rent 1 month after my son passed away. Then they decided to ask us to move out as soon as they found out we were house hunting, essentially leaving us homeless and forced to quickly pick a house in a terrible market. I have so many stories, but I'll leave you with these.
Oh my gosh.
That one kept getting worse.
Okay. I don't even know where to start. First of all, you should not mix business with family.
No.
That, if there's a note right there,
Yeah.
it's that.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Like, it doesn't usually go well.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and it doesn't go well.
No.
But second of all, the fact that this lady lost her son, and it sounds like the grandparents didn't even care. Like, they didn't give a lick if they were on the street while they're literally probably so sad.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Me neither.
She's
insane.
speechless.
That is insane.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Absolutely.
See, it's hard because there are some crazy people out there. We've already discussed this. And you don't know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't. But that is super sad.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for them.
Woof.
Yikes.
That was a wild story.
And then you had to go find a house in the terrible market.
It's one thing when you miss the market. It's like
super stress.
Because you're going to pay like so much more.
Yeah.
Than you should have.
You didn't end up getting your dream home that you put so much work into and you were waiting for.
And they got to profit off of it.
And then they made a ton of money. It's like, what is going on here? Are we family
and then they got so offended that you were house hunting that they forced you out. It's like,
why are you offended by that?
Yeah.
All right. I got another culture one. Culture shock of blended family life. Learning 2 mother-in-laws and 2 father-in-laws has been tricky.
Oh, okay. Blended family.
Yeah. Wild story, context. Both blended in-laws live in the same city. That must be interesting. Because I don't deal with that, you know? But
yeah.
Because mine live in 2 different states. So.
You don't have blended in-laws, though.
What do you mean? Sorry, I just mean that my in-laws
and your parents
and my parents don't live in the same state.
Yeah. So I think this is though like the in-laws got divorced and remarried, so it's 2 sets.
That's even worse. But they live in the same city.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So they have. Yeah. It's about to say. So we have to split time with them during the holidays. Hard. Sharing time is very hard. My mother-in-law presented me with a spreadsheet she had been keeping of all the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner over a 5-day stay of who we ate with to prove my father-in-law got 2 extra meals than she did over a Christmas break.
Bye.
Do not show me a spreadsheet.
I'd be like, do you know why he got 2 extra meals?
This spreadsheet.
Because he didn't make a spreadsheet.
Exactly. Okay, but awesome in-law moment. My mother-in-law drove 6 hours the week before my due date to cook and fully stock my freezer with meals. Such a blessing. Let's redeem me because that spreadsheet.
Shoot.
First of all, as parents, you cannot be keeping score like this. It's just, you need to let your family go. Was it you that told me about somebody? I don't even know. It was like a clip or something. And they were talking about, like, if they don't even come for the holidays, like, we understand. Or maybe I just heard a podcast. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it was me, but.
Oh, I think it was, I always get his name backwards. Craig
Groeschel.
I was about to say
Greg Groeschel.
I was about to say it. I think he said he loves that his family is close and they want to be with them.
Yeah.
But if they didn't, and they were like, we're doing our own thing with our own family.
Like his daughters and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Because it is their own family. Now, of course, most people do want to be with their family if they can. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they are their own family. Mm-hmm. And you kind of have to let them be their own family. Mm-hmm. You know? As hard as that is.
My mom kind of, I feel like she had this situation. So let me try to remember what was going on up there. Okay, so it was my dad's parents, and then my mom's parents were divorced, and then they both like got remarried. So there were 3, and they kind of all lived in the same area.
Oof,
so there were like 3 places to go, and they would always like, they would get, at least some of them would get like territorial about like, I want Christmas morning, you know?
Oh gosh.
Or like, I want Thanksgiving, the actual Thanksgiving night. So they would have to end up like literally do 3 Thanksgiving dinners on Thanksgiving.
Do you know how full you'd be?
We were full.
Vomit.
Or like maybe my dad's parents didn't care, so then we'd do it like the day after or whatever. But she would, between the parents that were like, you know, exes, oof, they would be like territorial with each other. And so because of that, she was always like, it's fine. Like, we'll do Christmas with you whenever. We'll do Thanksgiving whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's nice. Not everybody has that life lesson. But it kind of reminds me of Gilmore Girls.
It's like if you haven't, if you haven't experienced it, then you think you deserve it.
Yeah.
But if you have experienced it, you're like, I'm not doing that to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes people are
especially if you're carting kids all around to everybody's houses too. It's like, no.
That is tough. Yeah. They can't handle that. But yeah.
It's like, if you really want that much time with me, like, come to my house. Don't make me come to you.
Let's make some sacrifices too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're jealous about how much time you got with them, like, come out to my place.
No, that is what a good life lesson to learn. Mm-hmm. You can make a little sacrifice yourself. Yeah. But yes, the Gilmore Girls Thanksgiving where they go to like 4 different Thanksgivings. That's what y'all were doing. Like, just eat.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay, this one says, I enjoy my mother-in-law more when my children are not around. The baby talk and abbreviations are like nails on a chalkboard. I just can't. Other than that, my mother-in-law is great. She really is. And I know so many others have terrible mother-in-laws, so I should not complain. I cannot handle baby talk.
You're not really supposed to talk baby talk to kids. Or babies. It's not really good for them.
Especially when they do it to like their grown kids.
Okay, no. Absolutely not. Let's not do that. No. I have seen like couples where they only talk to each other in baby talk. Mm-hmm. And that scares me to my core. But parents to their grown children? Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm scared.
I don't like the baby talk. Oh, I'm so sleepy.
No. It's like, I don't like that. That gave me the really big cringe. But, you know, at least for the most part.
Look what I brought you, your favorite Christmas cookies.
No. Absolutely not.
What do you mean? What do they mean abbreviations?
That I do not know. Baby talking abbreviations. Abbreviations. I'm trying to think how that works. What are abbreviations? And how does it fit into this context?
Yeah, I don't know.
Baby talking abbreviations? Did she mean a different word? Or whoever wrote this?
Like I don't know. Like a chocolate cookie, like a Chucky cookie, maybe?
Maybe. Yes. That's probably what it is. Like, you want a little
Chucky chip, Chucky Talkie,
a little chocolate hot Chucky. Hot Chucky.
Yeah.
You want a little num num for your tum tum?
A little cheesy weezy.
Well, it's just not what they're talking about at all,
Exactly.
but who knows? That's how I interpret it.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Chucky Wucky.
That's all I can imagine.
In your tummy wummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you little tummy hurt.
I think I just spit on you.
I didn't feel it. A little spittle whittle.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's pretty bad. But for
thoughts
the
and
most part,
prayers.
she said it was good, so that's
Thoughts
great.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and
She
prayers.
can't help herself.
She cannot help herself.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
All right. Hey, Sarah and Kelly. Hello. I love the podcast, and when I heard about this topic, I knew I had to write in. Oh, I love to hear that.
Love it.
I grew up in a very chaotic and dysfunctional home. My mom died when I was young, and my dad remarried shortly after. That's tough, I'm sure. Long story short, my relationship with my stepmom was not good. I remember praying, even as a little girl, that I would one day marry a man whose mom I could be close with. I longed to have a good and healthy friendship with a mother figure. Oh. And that prayer was answered. Yay!
Oh.
I love this. Is a good story.
This is so good.
My mother-in-law is one of the kindest and most generous people I know. I view her and my father-in-law as my own parents, and they've taken me in and treat me as their own. We are so close, and I finally feel like I have a mother-daughter relationship that I missed out on.
Oh my gosh.
We hang out all the time and are even going on a trip to Disney together. I love that. Just us.
Oh my gosh.
Later this year.
That is so cute.
I love it. That is so sweet. Thanks for writing that in because, we were getting some downers.
That is so sweet.
That's really sweet. And
like, it's real when you can just be alone. Like, I would take a lone trip. Like, wow. That's real close.
You like each other.
Yeah, y'all are close.
Yeah.
It's one thing to, get along fine. But, going on a solo trip together, you guys really have that bond. That's so sweet. Yes.
Because there's some people, if you just went on a solo trip with them, you'd be trying to find words, things to talk about. But y'all are doing well.
Yeah.
So that's really good. I love that.
I love it.
And Disney? Hello.
Oh.
You already know we want to go.
That is so sweet. You know it. We're always
take us with you. We'll go
we're
with
always
you.
scheming. Yeah, we'll do an in-depth interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This is the last one, I think. Yep. Okay. This person says, I feel like I have the unique opportunity to share the love I have for my mother-in-law. Oh, wow. Another good one. I call her as often as I call my mom. It is very important to me that I have a close relationship with my in-laws, as I have seen the effects of the toxic relationships from others. Obviously, there are flaws on both ends as we are human, but I feel like I can be super transparent and honest. She comes to stay with me when my husband is out of town, and we have great heart-to-hearts about Jesus and other things. She's a widow, and I'm very thankful for how involved she is and the fact that we set boundaries early on, and I have the open communication that we do. It was an effort from both sides of the relationship. Again, I feel very fortunate for my situation. My friends call her the mother-in-law they wish they had.
Oh, that makes me want to cry. That was
so
super sweet. She's a
sweet.
widow, and she's just coming over and staying with her when her husband's gone.
Yeah.
And they talk and have Jesus heart to heart. That's so sweet. I love that.
I love that so much. Wow.
That's so cool.
That was great. This is a really good mix of stories.
Yeah. Yeah. We had, some bad ones and some good ones.
Some good
and,
ones, some wild ones. Yeah.
And
that's exactly what we asked for, too. We were
exactly.
we want a little mix of everything.
Exactly. We weren't trying to get all the bad.
No, we're not just trying to get the seedy underbelly.
We're not bashing in-laws. This is not what we're here to do. We just wanted to know some stories. And, sometimes stories from other people can help other people learn or grow from it. You can learn from other people's mistakes, whatever needs to happen. And like we talked about up front in the beginning, maybe you're about to get married, or maybe you're dating, or thinking about marrying this person, and you're like, okay, what about the family situation? Talk up front with the person you're going to marry. Hey, how do we want to deal with family situations? What are the boundaries you see that you think fit this family dynamic? Or what does that look like? Do you feel comfortable talking to your family about certain boundaries? Or should we say it up front? Which you probably should. But it helps us all have a better perspective on how to deal with things. Yeah. Because it's life. It is what it is. Like, even if you have the best in-laws in the entire world. Yeah. They're incredible. They're people. Yeah. They're going to make mistakes. They're probably going to hurt you because you're going to live a long life with them. Mm-hmm. You know, they probably do things differently than you do, which causes you to feel annoyed.
You got to be, like, just ready that no matter how normal you think everyone is, like, their family is just going to be way different from yours.
100%. No family is the same.
No, when you get into it, you're going to be like, y'all are crazy. You know, but, like, maybe you're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, but maybe not. But also maybe.
Right. A little both. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be both. Yeah. And so you can learn and grow from the situation. You can figure out. It's a good learning experience. Yeah. How to figure out how to deal with certain family dynamics. Yeah. And especially, I think, you know, maybe you're married and you don't have kids, but you are realizing you want to have kids, but you need to think about how does this all fit in with the family dynamic? Like, what are those boundaries we're going to have with even our kids, and like how much we go over or whatever it may be. You got to start thinking about those things. Yeah. And having discussions. Sometimes that can be a difficult discussion. Yeah. Even with your person. Yeah. So, you know, this kind of brings that to the surface of like, talk about it. Mm-hmm. Especially before. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes, you know, honestly, I don't think everyone thinks about that part of it. Right. Even though, like, it's said a lot, like, oh, you marry the family, so make sure you like the family. Mm-hmm. Even with that being said, you don't quite grasp how involved a family can be until you get married. Right. And then you see, okay, this is how they do things and this is what they expect. Yeah. But your expectations are here and theirs are here, you know. And how do we match? How do we figure out a good middle ground here? You know? And so I think it's, you can be like, well, we talked about family, but really think about it. Yeah. What does it look like? You know? Yeah. How often do we go over? What, you know, what is it? Do they speak into our life? Do they not? Like, you know? Yeah. Do we welcome an open dialogue, or are we making our own decisions because we're known to overstep? Yeah. Yeah. You gotta feel it out. You gotta make sure you know what your boundaries are with that. Yep. With anybody, really.
Totally.
So.
Totally. Yeah. Just take it one step at a time. Yeah. You know? And I don't know, a little bit of distance isn't a bad thing. Because if you're used to like being around them 24/7, like, they'll actually probably appreciate you a little bit more if you take a step back. Now, they might be hurt at first if you stop coming over as much as you used to. Yeah. But distance makes the heart grow fonder. If y'all have been getting on each other's throats lately, the distance can really help. It can be a blessing. Right. Can really minister peace and help you get along better and all that stuff. So I don't know. Sometimes you just got to play it by ear and be like, okay, well, we're gonna see how this slow things down a little bit now.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. And figuring out the holidays is really a big one too, I think. Knowing what you're gonna do and how you want to do it, how you want to split it, you know.
Some people get married and like maybe haven't talked about it. Yeah. And then like the next month it's like Christmas. You know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you get faced with it right away. Oh yeah. Whereas like, I mean, we didn't have any issues, but I'm thinking like we were married in February. Yeah. And then that year, actually, I wouldn't like, we were just like, we're going to spend our first Christmas together. Yeah. So we went to New York City, I think, our first Christmas. It was so fun. We were just like, fun. What a good, you know, we're not going to have to like prioritize one family or the other for this first time. Cause I know there's a lot of pressure. Like, we're going to go stay in New York City. Yeah, that's a good idea. Ice skate on Christmas morning. It was so great.
So fun. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So just being like, oh, we'll do something completely different so that we're setting our own precedent first, and then we'll
go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have to do that every year.
But. Yeah. But no one has that expectation of like, you have to be here. So that's really good. Yep. I love that. It's great. Go to New York for Christmas. I don't know.
It was great. I highly recommend it.
Fun. Sounds magical.
It was. It didn't snow, but
it's okay. It's still cold.
I was hoping for that. Yeah, it was cold. It was chilly. and everything was open on Christmas, you know, which is just kind of like, that's fun.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
know, we went to like Katz's Delicatessen, it was packed. And then, you know, Times Square was packed. Christmas morning in Central Park, they were like, somebody had a saxophone and was just playing Christmas carols. It was so cute, and it was like so chill. And then, you know, like New York, everything was still open. Like you could still go get coffee or lunch or whatever. Little Italy was open. I think we went and got cannolis. Or maybe we did that on Christmas Eve. But anyway, all that to say, stuff was still open, but it was like tame, you know? And then everybody came out Christmas night and like wanted to see, you know, the Rockefeller Center, go ice skating and see Christmas lights and all that stuff. So we just kind of like, we went out for like a little bit during the night, but then we just kind of like head back early because we just enjoyed the day.
Absolutely.
When everybody was
probably best. People were probably awake. Yeah. You know, into the night. And so they're not out in the day.
Right.
So that's the way to go.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun.
It's great. It's wonderful. All right. Well, this was a fun episode. Thank you guys for writing in. We loved your stories. It was really good. Thanks for trusting us. Yes. We appreciate it. Thoughts and prayers to all of you out there. Wow. We're really in it with you.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
You're doing it. You're doing big things. Wow.
You're making it happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're living, you're learning, you're loving.
You got stories to tell. Warn the next generation.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're paving the way.
Yeah. We've given you guys just a guide on how to be a good in-law.
Yeah.
For the future. You know? Hopefully. Things you should not do and things you should do.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, this is a special episode. We try to do the bonus episodes once a month, like at the beginning of the month. So, yeah.
Hope you enjoy them.
Yeah, enjoy. Share it with friends. And we'll see you next Thursday with a brand new episode as usual.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening today. Make sure that you're following us at Honesty Club Podcast on Instagram, or check out our website, thehonestyclub.com, to be a part of future episodes.
You can submit an idea for a topic or write in with a story for us to share.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, leave us a review, or share it with a friend.
See you next Thursday.